I was drowning in debt until I discovered this simple system. For years, I lived in a maze of mindless consumption. My life felt like a treadmill. The paycheck came in, the bills were paid, and the rest was spent on a temporary, warm, fuzzy feeling. I was chasing the newest gadget, the latest fashion trend, and the next big night out, always feeling like I was one step behind. My apartment was filled with stuff I didn't need, and my bank account was constantly in a state of anxiety. But one day, after seeing a bank statement, I hit my breaking point. It was a catalyst. I was overwhelmed by student loans and credit card debt. I realized I was trapped in a cycle of debt. And in that moment, I knew I had to make a change. My goal wasn't just to save money. It was to take back control of my life. I had a new, desperate desire to break free from this cycle and find peace. I was determined to find a different way. I stumbled upon a philosophy that seemed radical at first: frugal living. The first step was a fundamental mindset shift. It wasn't about being cheap, it was about being frugal. The two are completely different. Frugality is a deliberate, value-driven strategy. It's about asking, what value am I truly getting from this purchase? A frugal person might spend more on a quality pair of boots because they know they will last for years, saving money in the long run. Cheapness, on the other hand, is a short-sighted approach driven solely by the lowest price. You end up buying a low-quality item that quickly falls apart, forcing you to replace it and ultimately spending more over time. My journey taught me the power of a hidden superpower for wealth builders: delayed gratification. It's the ability to resist an immediate, fleeting reward in favor of a greater, more substantial one later. This is the essence of a mindful spending habit, making intentional, value-based purchases rather than giving in to impulse buys. To stop impulse spending, I implemented a waiting rule for all non-essential purchases, giving myself time to think about whether I really needed the item. This new mindset was supported by a practical toolkit built on 4 core principles of frugal living. Use it up, wear it out, make do, do without. While these principles guided my daily life, real progress came from addressing the big 3 expenses: housing, food, and transportation. I looked for ways to cut down my housing costs, began cooking almost every meal at home, and started meal planning with a grocery list to avoid impulse buys. I started buying store brands or generics to reduce the cost of my groceries. And instead of driving everywhere, I started using public transportation or biking. I also discovered a range of unconventional hacks. I started buying clothes and furniture at thrift stores. I learned to buy staples, like winter coats, during the off-season for deep discounts. And I started carrying a reusable water bottle and making coffee at home instead of buying it every day. But my journey wouldn't be authentic if I didn't also acknowledge the dark side of extreme frugality. It can lead to decision fatigue, where you're so exhausted from scrutinizing every small purchase that you feel shackled by your finances. It can also create social strain, making you feel isolated from friends and family whose spending habits don't align with yours. I learned to find a balance, and I realized the goal wasn't perfection, but a sustainable approach that allowed for both progress and a fulfilling life. The journey's destination is not a universal dollar amount, but a deeply personal state of being. Financial independence is defined as having enough resources to cover your living expenses without depending on a job to maintain your lifestyle. It means having the freedom to live on your own terms. The financial independence, retire early, or FIRE movement provides a structured framework for this goal. The core idea is to save and invest aggressively, often up to 75% of your yearly income. The goal is to reach a FIRE number, which is typically 25 times your annual expenses. Once you hit that number, you can follow the 4% rule, withdrawing about 4% of your savings each year to cover your costs. The movement has 3 main variations. Lean FIRE, for extreme minimalists living on less than $40,000 a year. Fat FIRE, for those who want a more luxurious early retirement. And Barista FIRE, which combines part-time work with savings to create a balanced life. My journey transformed me from a consumer into a wealth builder. I'm no longer burdened by debt or the stress of living paycheck to paycheck. My journey to financial freedom gave me the peace of mind and the ability to live on my own terms. It changed my life, and it can change yours too. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more tips and strategies to grow your financial knowledge.